right along in my James Bond movie marathon. I gotta move quick because I think Jan let the church board know that I was doing this, and that's why I was canceling all their meetings. And so I might be in a little bit of trouble. So we gotta keep moving along. I think I'll just invite them to come over and watch the movies with me. They'll love that, right? I mean, yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. So next up was one of the best. I just got done watching one of the best. Definitely one of the Roger Moore's best. For Your Eyes Only. Only for you, to see what no one else can see. Now we're breaking free, for your eyes only. I love that song. I love this movie. I am shocked that it's not more people's favorite James Bond movie. Quite literally, it came right after Moonraker. Moonraker kind of launched things into space, like bizarre out there stuff, which I love. But For Your Eyes Only brings it back down to earth in just some incredible ways. It's a back to the basics Bond film that feels like it could have been a Connery Bond film in many ways. You're not to world-destroying stuff. You're just to typical spy espionage stuff. The UK is battling with the Russians to get a hold of some sort of device that's going to help in the Cold War. And the CTAC, I think they call it. And there's a guy in the middle kind of playing the part of Spectre, trying to get a hold of it first so he can kind of give it to the Russians. He's not auctioning it to them like Spectre would. Speaking of Spectre, everybody loves the first few minutes of this movie. That's just kind of, it's the United Artists, the UA, saying, forget about Spectre, we're moving on. We don't have any hope that we're going to get the rights to Spectre back. So we're just going to cast a bald guy in a wheelchair and have Bond dump him into a smokestack. Great. It was so great. And he actually manages to be one of the best Blofelds, even though he's not named Blofeld in the movie, with this kind of mocking Bond and his sort of scheme and the way Bond kind of turns it around on him. And so it starts off just great. It has nothing to do with the rest of the movie, but starts off great. The rest of the movie is typical Bond fare. You see kind of a submarine get sunk there, and then it sets up the Bond girl. One of the best. She's one of the best, I think. At least one of the best characters. I think she's acted pretty stinking well because she's avenging her parents. You see her parents die on screen, which is a rarity for a Bond girl or for Bond in general. And so they set up just a great story. Bond gets pulled in and sent out on the mission. They blow up the Lotus, which is wild. One of the Bond fandom's most favorite cars, and they just boom, it's blown up, and they pile into a little bug, VW bug, and that scene is just so great. I always love the Bond movies where Bond comes back to M, where they kind of send him out to do something. I don't think there's that many of them, and it doesn't go well, and he kind of comes back. I really love that kind of seesaw narrative where it's like, okay, I was here and I did this thing. Now I'm going to drop back by London and we'll debrief and figure out what to do next. That leads to Northern Italy, where the Olympics just were, by the way, and some excellent skiing stuff. Daniel Craig never skied as Bond, and I'm still mad about that because this has one of the best ski chases in the entire franchise, although they're like a tie. I love it when Bond skis, and I love the ski sequences that this franchise has put together over time. So there's a twist with the villain halfway through. I love that, how they set up the smuggler, T'Pol, from Fiddler on the Roof. They set him up to be the villain, and then I love that scene where he kidnaps Bond and has to kind of explain to him and give him proof that you're being played here. And I love how Bond legitimately didn't know that Bond is surprised to find out that he's being played, because the actual villain has like a Medal of Honor from the British Crown, whatever they call it over there, and just leads to some really great stuff. Man, the end sequence is so good. I love it every time, where Bond climbs up to the Abbey. Some real good tension there, some real good scenes, and the way they filmed it and shot it was just spectacular. And so it's just great. It's just, in fact, if you're not into old Bond, like pre-Brosnan Bond, I would recommend this be one of the ones you start with. Like, if you're trying to introduce a friend to kind of old school Bond, this is a great one to begin them with, because it's just so competent. that's its thing. It's just a very competently made movie. It's well acted, it's well directed, some really great action scenes in there, some really good plot to move those action scenes along, some good twists. So I'm not going to say it's like the best Bond ever. I don't even know if I'd rank it in my top 5, definitely my top 10. But it's the most competent Bond movie ever. It's just has all the elements. It's pulled together, woven together brilliantly and beautifully. Some great sequences, great villain, great Bond girl, great end, great ending. I love me some General Gogol, and I love how Bond just destroys the SeaTac. So, great ending. And on that note, I don't know what's even left in this marathon, but we'll keep plugging away at it.